Anyway, now we're going to the world map. Yay!
Skull has a hilarious run.
He really wants to do those high steps.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, wait,
It's
did
what they
you know
teach
that
you.
Access Eternal? There's some hilarious things on there. Really, there
Wait,
is.
what? What's hilarious? On what?
They start training students in the academy from the age of like 6 or so. And there's rules for, something about sexually promiscuous students not being allowed to stay or something. It was funny, okay? There was funny things, alright?
What about sexually promiscuous teachers? Like, you know...
I don't think it got mentioned,
Yes,
honestly.
Oh, she gave us
Oh, by the way... Oh, I'm naming Shiva right now. So, I'm giving her some exclamation points. So instead of Shiva, it's SHIVA!
So we're getting the two, summons. Shiva and Thaumaturgy?
Yeah. It's Shiva and Quetzalcoatl.
Thaumaturgy would be the name of the people
And
that
there's no A in there. None. Oh, well, there's one A, but not two A's. There should be two A's.
What? I'm already behind.
Space limit on it, so they can't actually put in the full name, and they just shorten it arbitrarily. It makes me angry.
So Quetzalcoatl is misspelled?
Terribly. Terribly.
Oh.
It's actually spelled Quetzalcoatl.
Oh. I don't really know much about Aztec language, so it looks fine to me. I mean, I'm lucky to even be able to pronounce it.
You mean you're not a master at Nahuatl? I'm ashamed.
No. I continue that the word tomato comes from the Aztec word tomatl. But that's not much use. So anyway, this is one thing that annoys me about this game. You only have 3 command options when there's 4 that you could possibly pick from. It's like, do I want to use magic or items?
It's strategy.
It's bullcrap, considering every other RPG lets you do all 4 of those things.
What about
You know the funny thing?
Final Fantasy Tactics?
Viewers may not be aware of this, but there was a version of this that did not quite make it to air, and in it, Blue Highland was aborted from the universe. And in it, we decided to say what Blue Highland was going to say. And Scathe called it. He called that you would object to there being 3 command slots and 4 abilities.
Well, I was talking about that on the chat room, like, a week ago.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a very, what's the word? Long shot.
Well, to be fair, it is very annoying and obnoxious of them to do that. Also, the Final Fantasy Tactics argument, I don't buy that, considering Final Fantasy Tactics lets you pick like 1,000,000 different command abilities.
8 has like 10.
Also, that's a completely different game. 8 has, well, I don't really know yet.
Most of the
It's got Kamikaze or Mad Rush, I don't remember what it was called. There's Doom, there's Devour, there's a lot of other stuff, I forget.
Shiva!
Level up, level down, the list goes on.
Most of them are kind of useless, though.
Most of them are pretty useless,
I'm betraying my complete and utter ignorance of this game right now. I don't know what any of those do. Except for card.
You can guess what level up and level down do.
Yeah, level down raises the enemy's level, and level up lowers it.
Yes, Kate, you've called it. Excellent work.
Wait, why would you ever put that in a game? You could just make all the enemies level 1.
The reason you want to use it is honestly not to influence the level to make them easier. It's to influence the level so they drop different stuff.
Oh, it's one of those things. That's like the worst part of RPGs, like the impossible to know way to get things. Oh yeah, you gotta fight this enemy, but not only that, it has to be level 50. Sorry.
Hey, you drew from that cure point, and you can't get the Zodiac Spear now.
What?
Oh no, he's lost this.
Wait, are you kidding me? Oh wait. Alright.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't put anything past Square Enix in this game.
But anyway, action, blood, violence.
Alright, here we are. We get to
blood.
No, I'm not going to be fighting. I'm just drawing spells.
Yes, but we're going to pretend there's fighting. Really, really
Please
deep
don't tell me
fighting.
the next 10 minutes of this video is you drawing spells.
The next 10 minutes of this video is me drawing spells.
I hate
Oh,
you.
God.
Yeah, somehow I'm unsurprised by this. Oh well.
Well, what do you expect? This is what Final Fantasy VIII is. It's this. This is the game. You gotta draw a million
Well, technically
spells.
speaking, you don't have to draw. I mean, you could always refine the spells from cards and items.
You just refine.
Well, this is the beginning of the game. What am I gonna do with no spells at all? This is what they told me to do. They told me to draw spells, and I'm gonna be drawing spells.
Quetzalcoatl, that card ability, and then you card everything.
Well, yeah, I'll do that in the future, but this is the first video. I want some kind of spell. I want variety. And I'm not insane enough to get 100 of these things. I'm just gonna get like 50.
Okay, well, fine. Did you at least fight all the enemies? I know there's a Scan, Fire, Cure, Blizzard, Sleep, Thunder.
Every time
Well,
Blue Hound
anyway.
casts a spell, take a drink.
No, you're gonna be dead so fast. Anyway, in the future, drawing spells, that's gonna get cut out. But this first video, we're getting to see it.
Good.
You just want the
So, in the
audience
game
and us to suffer?
No, I want them to see what Final Fantasy VIII is. I mean, if I were doing this for real, we'd be seeing every single thing I'm doing. That's what a pure LP is, and that's the difference. You gotta draw spells in order to have magic, and you gotta draw them in order to boost your abilities. So this is it. This is what Final Fantasy is all about. Somebody in a room decided, you know, this is what Final Fantasy VIII is. We're gonna make a game where you draw spells a lot. This is what they thought up. This is it. This is the new form of Final Fantasy. There's no argument around this.
Well,
At least you get to choose what to draw.
Yeah, I guess there's that. At least I don't draw one spell per turn, but I
That
could
can
be
happen
drawing
actually
20.
if you have a really low mind stat, I think.
Yeah, well, I could be drawing like 20 every single time I do this, too. It could be worse, it could be better.
I'm pretty sure the max is
Yeah.
9.
That's kind of crap. I mean, I
You like
don't want
altered it so that the game could draw more spells per turn.
to be... I'd love to do that. I'd like to draw 100 spells every single time I do this. That's how it should have worked.
I have to say the animation
I'm kinda
is
drawn
quite
out.
pretty.
I mean, they even I'm thinking like a game developer right here. They made this enemy super weak, so you could just spend a million years drawing spells. Obviously, this is how they want me to play it.
I'm crying inside.
So is this why you couldn't finish the game the first time you played?
The first time I played, I'm like, drawing spells, this is absolute crap. I'm never doing this, so I didn't. I just used GFs the entire time, and it didn't work.
Yeah, see,
First the
that's bad.
battlefields.
No, that's very, very bad.
Well, that's what I mean by perverse incentives. Like, this isn't a very well-designed game, because let's say you're just playing this. You don't know what you're doing. Alright, you can either draw spells for a million years, like they tell you, or you have this thing that does a lot of damage and protects your characters. So why would you not do that every single time?
Well, if it protects your character so much that it dies, you can't use it for the rest of the fight.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, it's still protecting your character. It's still a good thing to have. Also, all those fires does crap to my... Look at that, only 6+ for all that work.
Oh yeah, what you need to do is you need to start carding things so you can get Tornado, and then you can junction that to your magic. It's actually not even the best spell for magic. I just like setting Tornado.
What I'm actually going to do in the future is I'm going to go and do the water refine thing for the monsters on the beach here. So that way
It's a
Squall
good
can
idea,
just have a
actually.
strong
Water's
attack.
a good spell to have at this point.
Jim was
that's
usually
the
we're
best
actually
with
talking
Battlefields.
about gameplay.
Well, yeah, this is it. This is the gameplay.
Yes, and you gave us a
Sorry.
lovely view of its
It's a
name.
thaumaturgy.
Which, I don't know if I could actually pronounce that faithfully. I could try, certainly.
It just looks
Anyway,
like
I'm
we're
drawing a bunch
catching
of-
rose petals.
Yeah, they're actually, yeah, they're land fish. They swim in the land, as one does.
7 sleeps.
yeah,
I'm kind of feeling those sleeps right now after watching all this drawing.
Yeah, why don't you go?
Yeah, and I'm
first?
pretty sure these things are babies or something. I don't know quite what their relationship is to the things you find in the Galbadia Desert. They are huge sharks.
Anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm drawing a bunch of blizzards for use against Ifrit later.
Blizzard is a good idea, yes? Good, good, good.
See, I'm already thinking like a Final Fantasy VIII player.
Welcome to the FFWiki's Final Fantasy VIII Let's Play to teach you how not to play the game.
Actually, Ifrit is actually secretly weak to fire.
Yeah, actually, yeah, totally. Yes, completely.
You're bullcrapping me now.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright, I played enough Final Fantasy games, I know that one's not true.
I don't know. These people weak to lightning in Final Fantasy XII.
Yeah, but they were just playing around there. No, this is too traditional for them to do that. Then again, this game did change.
Very weird elemental weakness. Final Fantasy IV, it threw me for a loop every time when I found the flan that was colored yellow, and then you had to use lightning spells on it. That was wrong.
That always bothered me, even in like Pokemon games. Like, I know in Emerald, there's a few enemies that are green, but yet it's actually a water enemy. And I'm like, I just want to use fire against it. He's green. Look at him.
Have you never seen green water?
I have seen green water, and I want to use fire against that too.
And haven't you looked at the Hudson River?
I have looked at Hudson River. I'm from Hudson County. There's lots of green water. I was born over an underground lake of chromium.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Alright, do you want me to start juggling or something, so to make the drawing a little bit more interesting?
Not really.
Well, if you can juggle audio, I'll be curious to listen to it.
Yeah,
right.
well, if anyone comes out here and is like, "Oh, you're being harsh with Final Fantasy VIII," well, this is it. This is the game. You're gonna go argue against this?
Well, it's not. This isn't it. After you start carding enemies, and
After that, the essence of the game is playing card games.
I don't have that ability. I could either spend like 3 hours grinding to get that ability, or I could go draw a bunch of spells here.
Well, actually, I mean, you don't have to do card games the entire game. I mean, if you do just card games at the very beginning of the game, you never need to play one ever again. Trust me on that.
Oh, I play a card game later. You're gonna like it.
do you become the triplest triad?
No. I become the single triad.
The card game which is named 3-3.
Triple triad.
Well, it does have 3 columns and 3 rows. This probably explains the name.
I was disappointed that Tetramaster wasn't called Tetra Quattro.
Actually, Tetramaster is Japanese for no one knows how to play this game.
Yep.
That game is absurdly complicated. I've talked about this before. I mean, it's just... Why would you put the number of stats in hexadecimal? And, I mean... And then you have different types of attacks, and then... Your defense is actually against your counterattack to the other person attacking you, and...
Don't go there to madness of maths and confusing. Though, to our viewers, you can go and look on the wiki on our article on how to play Tetramaster. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Though, to be honest, I actually figured out Tetramaster a lot quicker than I did Triple Triad. Because at least that one has arrows. Well, Triple Triad has... Alright, here's the thing. Tetramaster, it has little arrows telling you which direction the thing attacks. I get that. Triple Triad has 4 numbers in a square at the top of the card, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
I got it at the very beginning. I don't know what your problem was. It's like, okay, that's his number for the top, the left, the bottom, and the right. It makes sense to me.
I thought there were 4 different stats.
No, see, this is what Tetramaster has done to you. It's corrupted your mind.
Well, I wasn't able to beat Aaron. You got that much.
What a nice skybox.
It is a nice sky. This is actually a pretty game. You can see all the advances that went into Final Fantasy between Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy VIII, graphics-wise at least.
Final Fantasy.
I mean, even compared to Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII looks terrible.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII has a lot of things going for it, but graphics is not one of them. No. I mean, I've been told by my parents it's one of the best games of its time. That's great, but it's like that awkward teenage stage between child, which would be the sprites, and then adult, which would be this, and it's hard to look at.
I actually rather like Final Fantasy VII, even with its funny Lego people. I didn't find that to be a problem at all playing.
I like Final Fantasy VII, just its graphics are terrible.
It's not a problem so much as it is, well, I don't know, it's an annoyance, I guess?
I played that game in, like, the tail end of the PlayStation 2 era, and I had no problem with the graphics, really. I mean, beyond the characters for that one thing, the rest of the game is actually really pretty. Just the Lego people, it's a problem. And you can...
Delicious fish fins.
Shark fin soup.
You can fix that with an emulator, too. By the way.
Gotta make some shark soup.
Yeah.
Or you gotta make some water spells.